Arkady Rotenberg, loyal oligarch and happy owner of Putin's palace. The Russian billionaire Arkady Rotenberg assured Saturday to be the true owner of a luxurious residence which would be, according to the opponent Alexeï Navalny, the palace of Putin.
He certainly has the means, but he also has the profile of the perfect loyal soldier ready to sacrifice himself for the master of the Kremlin. This is the man who flew to the aid of Vladimir Putin. The Russian oligarch Arkady Rotenberg said, Saturday, January 30th, to be the proud owner of the Palace of Discord. He thus hopes to put an end to the heated controversy surrounding this opulent building on the shores of the Black Sea, whose value is estimated at $1 billion. It has, in fact, become the symbol of the fight against the supposed corruption of the Russian president led by the opponent Alexei Navalny. The latter, awaiting Tuesday, February 2nd for the verdict of his trial in Moscow for violation of a judicial review in 2014, posted on January 21st a video detailing how Vladimir Putin would have been built thanks to money from corruption and a network of figureheads, this new Versailles. A shock video to convince the Russians to join the ranks of demonstrations against power. A fortune of nearly $3 billion. The denials of the illustrious accused were not enough either to raise suspicion or to calm the demonstrators. After quickly crossing the 1 million views mark on YouTube, this survey by Alexei Navalny's teams now has more than 100 million views. Arkady Rotenberg's exit is timely. I managed to make an agreement with the creditors a few years ago and I became a beneficiary of this site, he said. The billionaire specifies that he intends to transform the palace, currently still under construction, into a luxury hotel in the years to come. Arkady Rotenberg certainly has the means to afford such madness. He has a comfortable fortune estimated at nearly $3 billion by Forbes magazine. He is especially at the head, with his brother Boris, of two of the most important construction companies in Russia, SGM Group and Mostotrest. An empire of stone and concrete which assures him of important income of money at the option of the public markets, of which the Rotenbergs are often the main beneficiaries. These are the same people who carved out the lion's share to build the site of the Olympic Games in Sochi in 2014. They obtained between $7 and $10 billion of contracts on this occasion. They are also the ones who largely contributed to the construction of the gigantic bridge connecting Ukraine to Crimea, the controversial Nord Stream 2 pipeline between Russia and Germany. Arkady Rotenberg is also on the spot. This status of Kremlin builder has not earned him millions. It was blacklisted from the United States and Europe, who imposed economic sanctions on it and froze its assets abroad, including real estate worth $30 million in Italy, on the occasion of the annexation of Crimea by Russia in 2014. Judo partner Arkady Rotenberg certainly also has the will to go to the front to protect the master of the Kremlin in this modern Winter Palace affair. He has not shown any proof that he is actually the owner of this prestigious residence. Opponents of Vladimir Putin did not miss the opportunity to suggest that the billionaire is none other than a figurehead for his childhood friend. Because the relationship between the president and his chief builder goes back to the school benches. Arkady Rotenberg is the archetype of the Putin-era oligarch. He owes him everything and is extremely loyal to him, writes Swedish economist Anders Östlund in his book on Russian crony capitalism. In the 2000s, Arkady Rotenberg was only known for one thing, having been the judo partner of the man who was then finishing his first term as Russian president. He has a modest background as a businessman who created his safety box while managing a judo club, of which Vladimir Putin was the president. But in 2008, he hit the jackpot. The Russian public energy juggernaut Gazprom cedes to it 5 of its subsidiaries specializing in construction at a very advantageous price, $348 million. He will soon have to repay the money he had to borrow for this purchase with this new construction empire, which he calls Stroygazmontaj, since renamed GSM Group. The group turns out to be a real goose that lays golden eggs thanks, once again, to Gazprom. Arkady Rotenberg becomes, in fact, the main subcontractor of the Russian giant and continues the construction of pipelines from Germany to Siberia. In parallel with this first activity, in the early 2010s he acquired Mostotrest, a Moscow group specializing in the construction of highways. From 2011, he really became a master in the art of winning the most advantageous public contracts, says Anders Östlund. In 2015, its most prosperous year, even though it was already targeted by international sanctions, it benefited from $8.3 billion in public contracts. This kind of large building site is generally awarded without real competition and at prices about 3 times higher than those on the market, underlines the Swedish economist. Under these conditions,
Pretending to be the owner of the palace on the shores of the Black Sea and suffering the opprobrium of the crowd who sees it as the indecent display of ill-gotten wealth is not paid dearly. And even if he was the real master of the house, that probably wouldn't change much to the anger of Russians. Because whether it is Vladimir Putin or Arkady Rotenberg, it remains, ultimately, in the family.